Hi everyone and welcome back to another video. Today is going to be day 2 of my return to campus as an orientation leader. I'm actually really excited for this video because it is the long-awaited in-person tour of Columbia. So I made a virtual tour. If you want to check that out first, I will link it in the description and also up above. But this is going to be a legitimate walk through campus, so I hope you enjoy. Good morning everyone! Today is day 2 of global training. After move-in, I painted my nails, and now I'm gonna head to breakfast. Breakfast runs from 8 to 9:30. Right now it's almost 9. So I have to, I don't think it's a rush, but I'll get there, get some food, and then training starts at 11 a.m. So 9:30 to 11 is like free time. I am at the breakfast buffet. You can see there's an assortment of items here, but today I actually chose to get an egg white omelet with tomatoes, green peppers, broccoli, and more vegetables, and also chicken. And there's actually a whole bunch of options that you can choose to add into your omelets. Here is the final product. And I also chose to get this really interesting pineapple flavored chobani that I've never seen before. And it was actually pretty good. Pineapple and yogurt is not bad. Then I got lactate milk to go with my green tea, and then I got a banana to save for later. Look, people are taking grad photos here. That will be us soon. Hi guys, so today our first assignment is to go on a group tour. So right now our crew captain is somewhere behind there directing people, and we're gonna walk to Hamilton. This is Julia. Is this your first orientation?
It's my first time being an NSOP leader, but I went to orientation and helped out my second year because I was a co-op leader.
Oh, awesome, that's so cool. Okay, great. So we're gonna show you guys Hamilton and probably the rest of campus too. This is our crew captain. His name is Brandon. And essentially he's gonna lead the tour and set an example for what we're gonna be doing as orientation leaders. Hamilton Hall is known for housing the center for the core curriculum. It's also where a lot of core classes take place. So I personally took Lit Hum, which was my first ever class at Columbia, in Hamilton Hall. And I lived in Hartley my sophomore year. It took me about 2 minutes to go down from my room on the 3rd floor to my classroom in Hamilton. Right now we're heading to Kent Hall. So basically we just walked up a ramp and we're gonna go up those stairs, and Kent is like right there. This is where convocation is gonna be. So it's a pretty big open space. Kent Hall is home to the ID Center, the Work Study Center, and the Office for Global Engagement. There's also a really nice library called the Star East Asian Library that I would sometimes go to. Panning over from Kent, we're gonna take a look at Philosophy Hall. So Philosophy Hall is right behind the green umbrellas. It is home to the Writing Center, which is a fantastic resource for Columbia undergraduate and graduate students. I've been to the Writing Center both in person and over Zoom, and the advisors there are always really nice and helpful. And even if you don't know what you need help with, sometimes talking through a writing assignment can be really, really useful. Right now we are walking up the stairs and about to cross the Law Bridge. So the building right in front of us is the Law Building, and there's like a nice fancy library in there that I've never been into. I don't know if I have access to it, but you can see people through the windows studying. Right now we're walking to East Campus. These are very interesting statues or sculptures on Columbia's campus. You'll see them around. Also this one, we call it the Tooth. And here's a really nice view from the bridge. This is the bridge to the law school. Right now we're looking at East Campus, or EC, which is an upperclassmen residence hall known for its townhouse style and suite style living spaces. The high floors of EC have one of the best views on campus, and Wien Hall, which is located right behind EC, is known for having sinks in its rooms, which I feel like would be really convenient, and also the mailing center in the basement. Somewhere near EC and Wien is the Center for Career Education, where you can go and meet with advisors to help with your resume workshopping or with other job search endeavors.
Okay, so now we're gonna turn around. EC is behind me now, and now we're going to walk to AVERY. And this is Philosophy Hall again. That's Ken. This building here is Low Library. It's like the back of it, or the side of it. We actually enter in the front over there.
This is St. Paul's Chapel, which is one of the first buildings in New York City to be designated a historic landmark.
I once saw someone get married over here, like a wedding. This is AVERY. There's a cafe called Brownies in the basement of this.
The first time I stepped into AVERY was to go to Brownies because I was meeting with my professor for office hours there. That is in the basement, but if you go directly inside without going down any stairs, you'll arrive at the AVERY Library, which is actually a really nice study space.
Over here is the business building. This is Eurus, and there's like a little Eurus cafe where I used to get some food before classes. This over here is SCHERMERHORN, or SCHERMERHORN. I can never pronounce it, but I had my Frontiers of Science class here.
SCHERMERHORN is home to many departments, including the Anthropology Department, Psychology, Women's Studies, and Art History and Archaeology. And if we keep going, we'll be arriving at FAYERWEATHER Hall. FAYERWEATHER houses the History and Sociology departments, and I also took my Lit Hump and Contemporary Civilization final exams here, which are part of the core. I also went to a really interesting medical humanities lecture in here for my university writing class, which is also part of the Columbia core.
So we're gonna walk this way now. This building is Fairchild. It's home to a lot of biology labs, I think. And this is also where I met Nobel laureate Professor Martin Chalfie, who discovered GFP, or co-developed. Here is like the bottom area of Eurus Hall. I actually have been here a couple of times to go to the Columbia Business School Research Lab, which is like a psychology lab, and they pay you to do studies. So yeah, it's a nice way to make a quick $5 or $10 with half an hour of your time. This is the back of Eurus Hall. And right now we are going to this building connected to Fairchild, which is MUD, the engineering school. And you can see like how all these buildings are connected because there's like a bridge there.
This is our next step. This is MUD. MUD is home to a lot of Columbia engineering related functions.
Like Brandon said, MUD is home to a lot of the engineering school functions, meaning that the makerspace is also located inside MUD. And the makerspace is a place where you can access a lot of different machines and materials to build your own devices, 3D print things. The makerspace is free for students to use, so you'll see a lot of engineering students and even non-engineering students go in to work on school projects or to work on personal projects.
Okay, so now we're headed, this is Shapiro. I haven't been in here before. But this is Shapiro. There's also a residence hall called Shapiro Hall, so just don't get confused. Brandon, have you ever been in this building?
Yes, I have.
You have?
I went for CS office hours one time.
Oh.
I'm not CS, but I did take one CS.
So that is NOCO, Northwest Corner Building. And then we have Pupin, which is right there.
Yeah.
Pupin is home to the physics department, and it's also considered a National Historic Landmark because it was the site of the Manhattan Project. Pupin is also home to the astronomy department. On top of Pupin, there is this round green dome. That is the Rutherford Observatory, and that's where public observing nights every couple of weeks are held. I had all of my physics and physics lab classes here, and a fun fact is that whenever you walk into Pupin, it actually smells like chlorine. I think that's because the entrance is located right on top of the pool in Dodge Gym. Next to Pupin is NOCO, and officially it's called the Northwest Corner Building. A lot of the upper floors of NOCO are dedicated to science research and lab work, but there's also a large lecture hall where I took my Fundamentals of Global Health class in my first year. There is a library called the Science and Engineering Library, which has multiple levels, and on the first level there's an open space for group work and talking, and the second level is made for quiet studying, so you have your choice of working at large tables or in your individual cubicle.
Here's a nice garden. This is right outside of Pupin. Okay, so this is the gym. Essentially, you just walk down the stairs and then into there. I think it's open now. You used to have to make reservations last semester, but now for the fall, I called them and they said that you don't need to make reservations anymore. But it's open from like 6 a.m. on weekdays. This is our famous lion.
This is the Scholar's Lion, and as you can see, the lion looks a little bit skinny, and you can see its ribs, and that symbolizes that the lion is starving for knowledge. This is HAVEMEYER Hall, and HAVEMEYER is home to Columbia's chemistry department. I've taken many a chemistry class in here, including lab. Another piece of Columbia trivia that a lot of students are proud of is that HAVEMEYER 309 is the really nice looking traditional college lecture hall that is used in a lot of films, including Ghostbusters and Spider-Man. Right next to HAVEMEYER is the Mathematics building, and as its name suggests, it's home to the math department. I took my Calculus 3 class in here my first semester of my first year. And I used to always borrow my math textbook from the math library, which is inside the building.
Okay, so right now we're talking about the math hall, and then we're also gonna walk towards Earl Hall and then make a right. And Brandon's gonna take us to Barnard, or at least we're gonna look towards Barnard. Yeah, we're gonna look at Barnard. So this is Earl Hall, and then we're gonna make a right. And right across the street is Barnard. And Barnard facilities are really nice and modern.
So yeah, so basically you guys are gonna take your students, walk down these steps, across the street, point out Barnard Hall, which is for those of us who haven't been on campus, that's that one right there. You can point out the Diana Center, which is that like reddish building that you can probably see here where I'm standing right now, and then Milstein, which is that like you see it above the trees.
Milstein has a really nice library with lots of standing desks, which is really cool. There's also the Diana Center, which I guess can be considered a hub for student activities, and also there's meal options in there. And below on the street, as you can see on Broadway, there is a range of food trucks that students often get food from.
And now we're walking towards Dodge Hall. I think it has music practice rooms, and it has a coffee shop.
Not to be confused with Dodge Gym, which we were just at.
And that again is the convocation tent, big white tent.
So Lewiston Hall houses the School of General Studies and the School of Continuing Education. So to kind of explain to like students what General Studies is, it's like another undergraduate school at Columbia, specifically for people who like might not have come straight from high school or have like took a break in their education.
This is Low Library. The steps are currently closed now because of convocation, but people are taking grad photos here.
Low Library is home to the Visitor Center, and inside of there is a Low Rotunda, which is where student research symposia are sometimes held. There are also lots of administrative offices in Low, and the Lost and Found is in there. Students also like to sit on the steps leading up to Low to hang out with their friends and just relax.
This is Butler Library, and it's really pretty. Butler is our biggest library on the Morningside campus. And that's Fernald Hall, where I lived first year. This is Pulitzer Hall, which is the journalism building. And there's Lerner behind the white tent thing. This is Learner Hall. We've been here many times. And there's Carmen Hall down there. Oh, I feel the AC coming from the door. Now we're on the learner ramps. Inside there is a computer room. These are the desks student groups use to do a lot of programming, or at least like selling tickets here. And then Learner is famous for its ramps, so you can see it go all the way up. Sometimes there's stairs too for faster exit or entry. Here's like a game room. There's games in there usually, but those are boxes. You get your COVID test down there, or I think you can also get your vaccine there. This is where we were training yesterday. There's a piano there, but I think they're gonna move it. But people used to play there and it was really nice. And Ferris is right upstairs, right there.
Learner is definitely a student activity hub, and it's home to Cafe East, Blue Java Cafe, Student Life offices, CPS offices, which are Counseling and Psychological Services offices, and Rune Auditorium and the cinema. And the cinema is where we trained yesterday. On the 4th floor, there is the Center for Student Advising, where you can make an appointment to see your advisor or even schedule a tutoring session. I've been a tutor for the Center for Student Advising ever since my sophomore year, and we used to hold our sessions in person in this office, but due to COVID-19, everything has since moved online.
So this is floor 5. You'll see that this is the black box theater room. This is room 555. Sometimes there's presentations in here. And then over there is like USL, or undergraduate student life offices.
So we decided to go outside again, and so here we're passing Butler. Next to Butler is John Jay Hall, and John Jay is both a residence hall and a dining hall. The dining hall is on the 1st floor, and the residence halls are on the upper floors. There's also JJ's Place in the basement, which is known for its burgers and fries and really just college student late night snack foods. Next to John Jay is Hartley and Wallach, and Hartley is home to the Hartley Hospitality Desk, where you can go if you ever get locked out of your room if you forget your key or your ID.
So JJ's is downstairs, and this is the medical services, I think, and that's John Jay Dining Hall, and then over there is the actual dorms and living spaces.
Okay, so thus ends the tour. We went inside to get lunch. I got some chicken salad and fried plantains, which is a nice combination. And then afterwards we went back to training. We're talking about Crew Olympics, which is going to happen on the 3rd day of training, so the day after today. Each crew has been assigned a specific color to wear for tomorrow, and we just found out that we're on the orange team, so we have to wear orange to get our points for tomorrow.
A few moments later.
Hey guys, so right now I'm back in my room. It's almost 4 o'clock now. We have to be back at 4:15 because we just finished our run through of Crew Olympics, which is this bonding activity between the OL groups themselves. So that's gonna be tomorrow, and I'm really excited for it because 2 years ago I filmed it, but I didn't actually make a video out of it. Also, we still have training at like 4:15 tonight, or this afternoon, so I'm gonna be going back, and then we're gonna be grabbing dinner. Yeah, so I'll probably catch up with you guys then. So here we are back in the Rune Cinema. We are doing multicultural affairs training. We talked about empathetic listening and really how to deal with serious situations that can come up during orientation. And after training, we went for dinner. So I had some corn, zucchini, and pork. And this will be the end of today's vlog. I hope you enjoyed it, and let's raise our glasses to a wonderful orientation.